fear and try to escape from examining one's own thought processes is a serious mistake for a student to make. As an example, it's very easy to think that mantra japa, which is a very, very good and useful practice, it's very easy to accidentally think that mantra japa is meditation. And rolling my mala bead and chanting my mantra internally, that's called meditation, and it's not. They're two different practices. Meditation and japa are two different practices. Both are extremely useful, but it's useful to know that there's a difference. To fear and try to escape from examining one's own thought processes is a serious mistake for a student to make. You should examine all your fears, and then you will find that most fears, I actually think that word was added because it's really all fears, that most fears are imaginary and irrational. From this point, you then begin the process of contemplation with analysis. That's the term, contemplation with analysis. And so what does it mean? It means introspecting within and seeing the interplay of the four functions of mind, the letting go process, the witnessing, and the coming back, the introspection of thoughts, which means the thought goes by, that now there's a new habit, let it go, let it go, let it go. And one comes and you say, come back here, thought, and you bring it back in front of you. And you essentially meditate on that thought, and it unpacks itself. And so he doesn't explain this a lot here, but elsewhere he does. And so you begin the process of contemplation with analysis. Gradually, by doing that, you will acquire the power to inspect your own thinking process while remaining undisturbed. So just imagine that. The ability to inspect your own thinking process, to see the whole thing, and while you're doing it, you're remaining completely undisturbed. Okay? Here's the punchline of what he's saying about doing that. Such a mind attains clarity and is then prepared to attain samadhi. You're very close. Just by doing this, you're very close to home. Then he adds, there are many levels of samadhi, which is a state of deep, absorbed meditation. When a student can focus his or her mind for 10 minutes without any disturbance, he or she has nearly attained this goal. All human beings, this is the last page of the section, all human beings who are aware of the reality of life and who have already examined the small joys and pleasures of the world will realize that they cannot remain content or truly satisfied without practicing meditation. Meditation creates the highest of all joys. Meditation creates fearlessness. Glory to the path of meditation! Exclamation point. The final step of meditation is to remain in silence. This is not just meaning sit there and don't talk. This silence cannot be described. It is inexplicable. This silence opens the door of intuitive knowledge, and then the past, present, and future are revealed to the student. And he tells this fun little story. Once upon a time, a student of meditation went to see a sage. The student began discussing philosophical concepts such as God and the divine existence, but the sage didn't say anything. The aspirant talked on and on about God and asked many probing questions, but still, the sage kept still. Finally, in frustration, the aspirant inquired why the sage wouldn't answer his questions. Can you imagine that? Why aren't you answering me? Then the sage smiled and said gently, I have been answering you, but you are not listening. God is in silence. I'm answering. You're not listening. You're not paying attention. In the course of my search, Swamiji goes on, and study in the Himalayas and the other parts of India, I met a fortunate few who enjoyed such a deep state of silence and who also help those who are prepared to meditate. Beyond body, breath, and mind lies this silence. From silence emanate peace, happiness, and bliss. The meditator makes that silence his or her personal abode. That is the final goal of meditation. Om, peace, peace. It's only a handful of pages and a handful of steps. And he really means it. I can tell you that. He really means it when he puts these times on here. For myself, once I actually started listening to him, I found that his timetable in here is pretty are profound. So one of the ways that we can use this little program for progress in meditation, there it is. It's only a handful of pages. But one of the ways we can use this is as a sort of outline that then everything else that we read or watch in video recorded lectures is support of making this make sense. And we see that it's just not really that complicated, and that it's been put in front of us.